Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I am the Triple TC, that's the time travelling toy collector, and you are welcome to this, my beginning exploration of the Transformers Legacy Haslab Victory Saber set, which includes Victory Saber, Victory Leo, Star Saber, Saber, and a couple of additional guests from the Minicons range. I think, as I said in my previous video on this topic, I am still learning the lingo for the Victory series and the cartoon series and the characters associated with it. So very briefly, for those of you who haven't seen the intro to this series, which was the previous video in this playlist, I'm looking at the Haslab phenomenon. So this is going to be an exploration of both the two Victory characters, so Victory Saber and Deathsaurus, which was the most recent, and I'll be looking not so much at a review, because I know people have already done that, they've had plenty of time to do that, but this is more an examination of the Haslab phenomenon. What do we think of the quality? Are there quality issues, and are those quality issues genuine, or are they unrealistic expectations? Are these toys? Are these collectibles? Is it all a matter of opinion? Is it entirely subjective? Well, the last bit's probably a yes. How do they shape up? Do they lend super value to your collection? Etc, etc. And who knows, depending on when I finally get to the end of this series, it might be at the point at which Omega Prime has been released, and we can also look at that as well. I don't have the Hasbro Haslab Unicron. That was released and was completed just before I got back into collecting, and having looked at the prices on the secondary market, I'm not in any immediate hurry to pick one of those up. Plus, it's so gigantic, it's almost laughable. Where would you put one of those? I'm sure many of you have them and you love it, and that's great, and I want you to love it, and I'm sure I would love it too, but in a flash of unparalleled and unusual pragmatism, I don't know where I'd have one, but I do have the Studio Cell not Unicron figure, which again is quite impressive and doesn't carry the same kind of kibble that the Haslab Unicron does, but that's a debate for another time, another video, and another day. We are here today to look at the Victory Saber, in particular the way Haslab have packaged this, and any lessons they may have learnt or not learnt in terms of the packaging then of Deathsaurus. So before we kick off, if you haven't already, please do like this video. It really helps the channel. And talking off the channel, please do subscribe. If you're one of those people who is watching this video who haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I am trying to get to my next subscription milestone, so it costs you nothing apart from a quick click to hit that subscriber button, and I would be super pleased and delighted and thrilled and in your debt for all of eternity till all are one, and lots of other platitudes that I can never deliver on, but hey, at least there'll be some videos for you to watch down the road. So I'll leave you to have a little think about that, and hopefully you'll make the right choice and do those couple of clicks. In the meantime, packaging. The Haslabs are, of course, a premium product. You're paying a premium price for what will be a almost made to order. I know it's not quite true, but an almost made to order product, and therefore there is some expectation around the quality levels, and that's quality across the piece. We often talk a lot about the quality and the quality control measures around some of the toys, but often we don't necessarily give the full attention to some of the other elements of quality, especially in something that is destined to be, let's be honest, a collectible in the fullness of time. And as has been said to me on a few occasions, if you're purchasing a Haslab and you've got the money to do so, get two of them, because then you can have one to open, enjoy, display, and the other one, you know, to put somewhere, because chances are, because of its nature, because it is almost a made to order product, you are likely to see the value of that increase significantly, and it could be an investment. Now, I'm not somebody, as you'll know if you've listened to or watched any of my other videos, who's heavily into this for the money. because I'm not I don't resell, and I don't think my my toy collection is my pension. Although maybe one or two pieces might come in handy somewhere down the line, but ultimately I'm not counting on it. But I do understand what people are saying about this, because there is an inward investment of overall high quality to these products. And I thought we're better to start when we start this exploration. Of course, in this video, we are going to get them out. I'm not just going to sit here and talk boxes for an hour. I could do that, but but I won't. I think that might drive you potty. But I do want to start with the box, because the box for this Haslab, for Victory Saber and Co, is really something special. There, on every level, there is something special about it. There's also a few things that are downright irritating, and I'll get on to those. But let's talk about the something special first of all. So I've started by framing the illustrations on the front cover of the box. And just to be clear, the front cover of the box is, in fact, you can't really see it from this zoom, but it is a wraparound, and we'll look at that in a second, because the wraparound itself has a special feature. But I think I need first of all to say, look at the quality, as you have been doing, of the artwork. And what's also lovely, and again, I don't know if we can always see it very clearly, is here we also have some fantastic red crimson foil that makes the backdrop of this wraparound, and it makes it pop so much. And you can see, and you'll see it again in a moment, we've got Leo there, Saber there, and the backdrop, and you can sort of see, and I'm going to apologies for occasionally going handheld to do some exploration of this, but you'll understand why, because they're so big such big boxes. As we come up here, you can also see that there's almost like a blueprint, a sort of a line illustration of the full-size Victory Saber there on that front cover. And of course we have the foil Transformers Legacy logo up there at the top, and similarly we have the Victory Saber logo also in red foil there at the bottom. But yeah, all in all, this is a beautiful piece of illustration. There he is holding his blade, and there's the V-lock cannon, which I think was one of the tier unlocks in the arms of Leo. Again, those of you who watched the original video kicking this off know I've not been a huge follower of the Victory cartoon, so some of these characters are absolutely new to me. So I am learning as we go, so bear with me. I'm sure you will. This side of the packaging, again, it's replete with that red foil, which is absolutely, it really is lovely. So we've got Autobot Saber there at the top. This is the list of who's inside. Victory Leo there. The Brain of Courage, because apparently he's a Brain Master, which was a new one to me. So many different masters, but now a Brain Master. We have Holly. And of course we have Fire, who comprise the rest of the, if you like, supporting characters in this set. And I think it's, again, a really lovely way of displaying that. I'll take it round to the reverse of the packaging, where again you can see more gold, more of the. I don't like it wanting to say gold. It's because it's such a gold standard product. That's my excuse. There we go. So there you can see the flight stand or display stand that comes with the product. Haslab is pulled out there in that red crimson foil, and here we have Victory Saber in his fully combined form as a product shot on the rear, and at the top again the Victory Saber logo, and there we see the V-Star Jet, which is the combined form. I mean, to be honest, there's so many combinations with this character and the characters contained within. You know, it's a real, let me just adjust that for the photo's sake. There's so much going on in this box. It is packed. So in terms of value for money, when I got this, I was really chuffed. I did think, gosh, this is quite the investment, but you get so much. So for me already, that's great. So let me now turn it around, just because I know, oh, sorry, I didn't cover this side. And this side we have, again, more of the foil, and we have Transformers in the red foil. I'm laying it down now because I'm going to unfasten, he says, which was so easy a moment ago when it just did it. It just did it all by itself, which you didn't see because it was just before I started filming. So of course now it's going to be awkward and not do it for me. Here we go. So it, along the side here, sorry about that, you can see it tabs. I'd say I'd edit it out, but I'm not going to, because I want you to see the experience. So here it tabs in. You can see there how it just tabs as a wraparound piece around the inner box. So let me just take this off the inner box, and then we'll have a look at the inner box in a moment. So again, the thing that I think is so beautiful with this is the wonderful interior. It's actually reversible, so there's a lot more product shots here. And again, I know other people have shown you this, but I think there's a lot of love and attention gone into the development of this. That's the base mode. I'm sure we'll get onto that discussion at some point. There's the Brain of Courage bit, all the various included elements. There's the two little mini bots, etc, etc. Apologies, just trying to get this in shot safely without smashing the camera. Not as easy as it seems. And then here we have, on the other side of the interior, the animated version of Star Saber, again with some of the toy art there that we know Transformers are so famous for having on their packaging. So this is again another piece. There's the mini bots zooming into action there. There's just so much to really appreciate with this. So as I say, you've got this side. Again, product shot of him on the stand there. And if I can flip it around with ease here. Ease is probably a little bit of a stretch. But you can see the various modes. So you can already see that for this particular figure, well, this particular set rather, there's an awful lot to cover. But this is a really, I think, a really, really spectacular, I'm just going to sort of leave it there to give us a bit of backdrop for now. A really, really spectacular concept that they've invested with love, I think, on this particular product. Then it goes a little bit wrong, in my opinion. Not completely, not disastrously, but a little bit wrong, because then we have this box. This is the interior, and I'm going to show you now. It ain't great. Some of it is not particularly robust. It's one of those boxes that sort of tucks itself in on itself. There is tape holding it together, but I won't lie. I'm going to see if I can get somebody to sort of prop it up a bit there. This may or may not work, so bear with me. Oh, it's actually worked slightly better than I anticipated, but maybe not. So let me just pull out as well here a shade. Forgive me. Yeah, so here we have Victory Saber, the interior box, and you lift this, and this is a tray, and it's a tray within a tray, as I just demonstrated. But it is a tray where things, as you can hear already, things do not stay inside it very well. Now if I turn it round, this already is a bit bashed. You can see there. The flight stand element doesn't stay in. It looks almost like it's been damaged in transit, not the stand itself, but the plastic that it sits in, which I think it should sort of be popped and held in like other things are. But you can see there, it just doesn't hold. So we have in here the various component parts, the stand, these two guns, which I believe belong to Leo, the blade, various blast effects, the shield. I actually love that. I think the quality, again, individual quality of these items to me looks really good. I've had no issues yet, but as I say, I haven't actually done any major assembling or transforming. I've only taken some of the figures out just so I can have a touch, a hold and a look. And as you can see, these haven't even been undone, so that'll give you a clear idea. But yeah, this feels almost warped in some way. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it should be held in by the plastic, but it really isn't. And if there's something wrong and it's on me, I can't see what it is, other than it just looks a little bit out of shape. Yeah, because it fits the outline fine, and it just feels like it should sort of be held in, albeit friction with the plastic tray, but it just doesn't take. It just doesn't take. So that's a bit disappointing. But again, it's nicely laid out. But that's what you get. You get that tray. Then you have, and I really like this, you get this, which is another print of the characters you're getting, most of the characters you're getting here, and it's lifted from that wraparound cover. And interestingly, there's Deathsaurus at the top here, foreshadowing the following Haslab release. And again, so you've got some lovely animated artwork there for the characters, Transformers Legacy, blah, blah, blah. It's on card, it's cardboard. So it's very nice, and it does sort of sit-ish. It sort of sits-ish on that tray. No, it doesn't. I'm talking absolute rubbish. In my head, it's almost fitted in, but it aligns with the tray. So it was, you know, that's it. It came together like that. And then we have the interior of the box, and this I will try and prop up a bit more so you can see. I might even will it just stand? See, there are some kamikaze elements to it here. So this is the hilt and the nose cone, which does arguably belong there, but does equally arguably fall out. So let me zoom a little bit in here, and I'll just adjust ever so slightly so you can get a bit better. Apologies for the slightly wobbly camera work, but you get a bit better view of what's in the box. So here we have the instructions, which you'll see I've not opened yet. And I've not opened them yet because I was only going to open them once I get around to doing some transformation stuff, which, as I've told you before, has not happened yet. So that's lovely. And here is the actual contents of the box. And these figures, I have to say, let me see if I can get a bit more light on the subject. That might help a bit there. I think these figures are absolutely fantastic to look at in the box. So again, with some of the collectible stuff, boxes lend quite a good element of added value because you can actually store and keep the figures in there. In this case, it kind of lends itself a bit to that. But again, the shoddy construction of some of this sort of really doesn't. I mean, you can't quite see here. Whatever I do, it's not going to look. But you can see the corners. You can see this corner here down here. It isn't a well held together box. You move it, something else falls over or falls out. You know, it's not terrific. In fact, I mean, if I poke that and that under there, that will hopefully keep it at an angle enough to stop other things falling out. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that it's not as secure. It's not as secure as it could be. But I am also possibly being a little bit unreasonable. I'm not going to put that back in because it's just gravity is just going to prove to me that it's going to keep falling out. But that said, when you're opening it for the very first time, the layer upon layer of reveal was really good. So you had the box, then you had the wraparound element, which was double-sided, which was fantastic. Then you go inside and you've got a tray, which is containing quite a lot of exciting things. Then you've got that cardboard inlay, which you take out and turn around, and oh my goodness me, you've got a poster. And then you go into the neck and you move the poster, and then you've got this is what greets you. And I have to say, it's beautiful. And I also have to say, some people had quality issues with scratches on the gold sort of vac metal elements. That's not an issue I've got so far. I am also aware that there are certain pressure points when it comes to transformation that the likes of Prime vs Prime and MGO and some others have talked about in their videos. So I'm very mindful of that, because again, one of the great things of having people who go onto YouTube and other platforms presumably and talk about their experiences of transforming, etc., means that you can learn from that. And I know that there have been some people who've had some snapping issues and some other quality issues, and I for one identify that sometimes it's product issue and it's a factory issue. Other times it might be a handling issue, not because they are careless or reckless in their handling, but if you don't necessarily if you're not necessarily familiar with what you're handling. So I'm determined to try and get a slightly better angle for us all on this. Then you know, at times that can mean you don't get the best out of the transformations, etc., and accidents can happen. Goodness me, don't I know it. So yes, so the layout of this I think is really nice. You've got the V-lock cannon, you've got Victory Saber, not Star Saber yet, or Star Saber. You've got the two mini bots, Holly and Fire, and you've got Victory Leo. You've got his cannon, the attachment, which you can't quite see, the attachment over here, which is for the shield. And yeah, I mean, I think that's everything that's contained in this part of the box. But as you've seen, it's a really lovely presentation. In theory, it's a lovely presentation box, but it ain't all that, because then it starts to fall apart. And it's not great for storing. And also these plastic trays are not good fits. For example, you can just see the quality of the box itself isn't fantastic. So for me, I wouldn't display them in this. I would just keep them stored in this. And there's an element of me that it's fine with that, you know. But there's also an element of me that thinks that's a bit of a shame, because wouldn't it be nice if you've invested this much money in a product, you're able to sort of have a bit of, you know, you see, nothing wants to stay in the packaging. Once they're excited and out and about, they don't want to go back in. It's fair enough. I'm a bit like that myself. So there you have it. Yeah, this is the packaging arrangement for that first Haslab, my first Haslab experience, which was the Victory Saber set. And then I opened the Deathsaurus box just to see what it was like differently. And I will look at that when it comes to looking at Deathsaurus separately. But in Deathsaurus, you don't have any of this, so spoiler alert, but there's nothing to show. There's none of this sort of tray of exciting goodies, poster, a different additional layer of exciting goodies. All of these things, you know, that we get with Victory Leo, Victory Saber, the Victory Saber set, presented as they are, doesn't happen with Deathsaurus. With Deathsaurus, it's from what I've seen, because again I haven't taken it out fully, I've just looked in the box, and there are just brown cardboard boxes that contain accessories, the main figure, which is a lot less faff, but also a little bit disappointing, because although you've got that fantastic artwork on the box itself, which is, by the way, towering over the Victory Saber box, but within it you've just got 3 more boxes. So it's a bit like Amazon delivery. There's so many boxes inside an oversized box, you ultimately wonder what on earth's going on. But yeah, you know, that said, for some people the packaging, well, that's just how it comes. You get the stuff out of the packaging, stop dwelling on the packaging, you sado, and get on with the figures. Well, the figures are next. So after this video, I'm going to get the figures out and the accessories out, and we'll start to take a look at the content of this my first Haslab experience. I'll give you some of my initial thoughts on the figures and the quality, and we'll do that in a couple of phases. But yeah, thank you for staying with me. I hope you can understand now, because there is just so much to look at in terms of what comes in this set, that's why especially when I'm doing it in tandem with the Deathsaurus as well, then I'm splitting it into a few videos. So hopefully stick around. There'll be more coming along very shortly. In the meantime, thanks so much for staying with me for this instalment. The next instalment will be along very, very soon. If you haven't yet, do please like the video and hit the subscribe button. Take a look around. There'll be other things for you to see and enjoy. And I'll be back really soon with another video. I've been the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been a fantastic audience. And this has been my first Haslab experience. Victory Saber and friends and packaging and wraparound and artwork, and I'm here for all of it, but I'm really looking forward to getting these in hand and actually starting to mess with my first Haslab. Okay, see you in a future video. It just remains for me to say, of course, that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care. Bye bye for now.